$1.5 million in a fund for this purpose. And again, this is a grant program, not a loan program. We have hired iParametrics, said it correctly. We've got representatives here today to handle the third-party administration of this program. There are some things that I thought were important as we roll this out on April 1st, and that is, I believe, next week. All businesses must meet certain requirements. They have to be currently in operation and located in unincorporated Chatham, be current on taxes, federal, state, property, not be suspended or debarred from use of federal funds, not be on a chain, not be a chain or franchise. Remember, this is local owned businesses and operated. Intend to stay in business for the next 12 months. You have to show proof of negative COVID-19 impacts. And that could be a number of things. And we have experts here if you have questions about the particulars of what those are. You as a small business are going to have to bring to a portal that we'll talk about in a moment. Tax returns, your form, your W-9, business license, occupational tax certificates, those type of things. But there are two programs built into this small business program. The first for eligible expenses is reimbursement relief grant. And that is any reimbursement costs to include payroll, benefit costs, mortgage, rent, utilities, operating costs, fiscal changes, the distancing, PPE, those kinds of things, vaccinations of personnel. Then the next program is Future Mitigation Plans Relief Grant. And in short, it's any future mitigation plans to include payroll and benefit costs, mortgage or rent, utilities, operating costs, physical changes, COVID testing. It may include any expansion cost, such as technology, mortgage or rent directly associated with relocation or expansion, operating costs related to relocation, and or new personnel or consulting fees. People had to get real creative to keep their doors open. And this is why the Chatham County Board of Commissioners wanted to have something that would aid local business. I'm going to mention this, and we'll do this again. I do want to mention that April 1st, our portal will be fully open, but I may get one of our team members to come up and talk about the portal itself and how it operates. As in my plain terms, the first portal you hit is basically the things I talked about. Are you unincorporated? Are you a small business? In other words, if you're a franchise, you're out. If you are a local small business, you hit all of these things. You then go into the system and you are communicated with to begin the process of being eligible for you can be for these grants, the reimbursement relief or the future mitigation. The grants are up to $25,000. So if you said one of them that you could be $12,500 in one, $12,500 in the other, not to exceed $25,000. The email, and we'll get this to you in a press release that's about to go out, chathamgms@iparametricsds.com. And we also have a local number, which is 912-335-5314. So again, we wanted to, today is letting people, these small businesses, start getting your stuff together. You know, you may have to go through files, call your accountant to get, you know, the W-9s, you know, your payroll information, all of those type things, and get your expenses together. Because I was real pleased with iParametrics, looking at their the way they are deploying this, that it is very simple to apply, and that was very important to the board. We didn't want people to get in. If you've ever applied for federal grants, they are very difficult. But in this case, the county has received the money, and we've tried to make it very, very simple, but still meeting the federal requirements. So we're taking the hard work out. That's why I have this team here. They're the smart ones. I'm just a face right now. So anyway, we can take some questions. Again, it starts April 1st. We're going to roll it out. We are thrilled to be able to do this for our businesses because we had businesses that closed. We had businesses that are still building back, local businesses. And, and we say this, and it may sound a little cliche, but your local businesses are your backbone. Those that employ, 50 or 25 or less, they're your backbone. And those are the ones we need to look out for. And that was really the passion of the board to make sure we did this. And we started this planning process mid-year and last year, and finally have gotten to this point. So anyway, questions, and I may call up one of our team members to help if I'm not able to answer any questions.
Do you have an idea of how many businesses will benefit from this?
Well, as far as benefit, I can't say that, but number of businesses we've looked at, how many? Yeah, 50 would be the max based on the number if they were eligible up to the $25,000. You may have some that are $2,500 or $1,500 or $8,000. So it really depends, on the actual applications, and yeah.
And then the COVID impact, someone who can detail what those issues might be that they would need to qualify.
You want to come up? Okay. Introduce yourself.
Emily Noyes from iParametrics. So for the COVID impacts, we're really just looking for a description. How does COVID impact your business? Did you have to buy cleaning supplies? Did you have to have special circumstances to keep your doors open? Really just a simple description letting us know, what kind of impact you had on that business.
Other questions?
Any other questions?
So how much is specifically allocated then? If you all have maybe a cap of 50 businesses, how much money is allocated?
Well, it's a total, the board within the ARPA funds, the American Rescue monies that were received, they've allocated $1.5 million of that towards this program. So that would be, obviously, back and do the math, it would be 50. But I think you're going to have different levels. But the max would be, that amount of money, or the 25,000. So.
And then, as we all know, Savannah being a hosted city, a tourism city, obviously those businesses have been impacted. So if someone could speak, maybe Chairman Ellis, on just the importance of you all kind of putting back those funds into, like you all mentioned, the small businesses.
Mr. Chairman.
Good evening. Excuse my tardiness, but I had to take care of some other things before. But yes, and some of the businesses that we already, talking to, some of them had to lay off folks. Some of them had to cut their hours back, okay? So these are the kind of folk that we are helping in the unincorporated area to help them get back to full strength and help them get back to being profitable in their business. So it could be a matter of someone who had to, let's say a worker was making 40 hours a week, they had to cut it back to 20, all right, or 20 hours a week and they had to cut it back to 10 or 15. So those will be eligible for these funds that we have set aside to help them. Then there's things of the materials and equipment they had to buy, okay, special equipment, the PPP and others that they would have to purchase that affect their business. These things will qualify.
I know you said the applications open on April 1st. Is
Right.
there a deadline?
When the money run out.
Okay.
That's the deadline. The deadline is when the money run out. And as I understand that when we have, these monies are supposed to, we have up until December 31st of 2026 to get all these things done. Is that right?
2024.
24, okay.
This is the first set of money.
Yeah. And so, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we help business recover. okay, because of COVID, and especially those businesses that are in the unincorporated areas of Chatham County.
First set of money, this could be another one coming down the pipe.
There are plans for more of it to come back, but I'm gonna say, like, I said to the staff, I'll count it when it's in the bank. Okay, so when we receive it, then we'll know how phase two will come in, but yeah, we anticipate that there will be a phase two of this.
And we heard that this was a decision where the Board of Commissioners kind of came on. Can you talk a little bit about the background information on how that topic kind of got into discussion?
Okay, the way it was given to us was that the federal government sent us, they allocated to us, what, 56 million total, but it was in two parts, all right? The first part was the 28.6 that we already have, that is in the bank. And so we looked at, we played Monopoly, a game of Monopoly, all right, that the staff had us doing. And what we looked at was putting monies where monies were needed, okay? So the need to help small business came up. And so we looked at that and we proportionally set the money aside because, you know, we also did rent assistance and utilities assistance also. So we were able to set this $1.5 million aside to help with small businesses.
So in that case, how long has this been in the works?
Since May.
It was approved by the board in August.
Yeah. Yeah, it was approved August of last year, but then we had to work out the details because the government kept changing the game on us, you know, the game plan and then the qualifications and so forth. So we didn't want to make any mistakes down the line, so we took our time to make sure we had all the factors correct and then had all the proper people in place so that we would be an asset and a help to everyone rather than a burden. Well, yeah, let me say this to you now. I want to thank you all for coming, but we want to make sure that we get it out to the public that it begins April 1, okay, is when we will kick this into full force. And so, in the meantime, if folks will start to get their documentations together, and that's why we want to have the press conference today, which gives you a whole week now to get all your tax papers and all the other things that are very important to having this done. And Terry knows are going to come back and tell you exactly what those things are, all right? Yes, sir.
Just real quick, in the press release, will there be a link to the portal that we can share?
Yes,
There will
yes,
be.
they're going to come and tell you that right now.
We'll be issuing that shortly, and it's going to have the link information, the local phone number, the emails that you need to send your information, or also just call to get assistance. You know, I don't have a W-9, or I don't, and we met with Ms. Blackshear a couple of months ago, so she's really helped us in getting us educated on when you do business loans, what are they supposed to have? What are we supposed to be looking at? And then they're going to evaluate those things. Again, the first portal that folks will hit are those, am I even eligible from unincorporated, where I'm located, that I am a local business. Once you meet that, then you are entered into the actual process of applying. So we've, again, tried to make it simple. We want people to spend days on information. If you were not in unincorporated, why go any farther? You know, now I will say, it was talked about in the board today, that if we get to a point in the next few weeks, couple of months, where we have had all the businesses to apply and there's some money left over, the board said they would like to then open it up to any business in Chatham County, a local business. So we'll see how it goes first, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Again, 912-335-5314, and Chatham, gms@iparametricsds.com. And we're, so it's all on the information we're gonna give you, plus the press release. So any other questions? If not, we're excited about this, and we're telling folks If you've been impacted by COVID-19, you're a local business, please apply. Thank y'all.